UTV-44 Sports Production. Friday Night Rivals. The UTV-44 High School Football Game of the Week.
Played 10 weeks in the regular season in hopes to getting here week one of the postseason. And tonight we open up our playoff coverage at the Hornets' nest at Baker. The Hornets ranked number 5 in 7A, 9-1 on the year, playing host to a traditional power, the Prattville Lions, 8-2 on the season. They make the road trip and come in ranked number 8 in 7A. Good evening. I'm Jim Cox. My partners Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett as we get ready for this matchup here tonight. Dan, I think you look at tradition, so much a part of the playoffs in any sport, but really in high school football, especially here, you look at what Prattville has and what Baker has. One team has a great one, one's trying to get there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Prattville's state championship tradition goes back to 1984. They've got 5 state championships in all. In fact, there's a gentleman on the field we'll introduce you to later that's been a part of all of those. Meanwhile, the Baker Hornets, good news is they're trending up. But the bad news is it's about time, right? They have won 1 playoff game in the history of the school. They are really excited out here in West Mobile tonight.
I think one thing you're going to see similarly between these two teams, they both like to run the football.
They got guys that can run it, too. And when you're talking about the Baker Hornets, this young guy right here, he impressed us early. We had 2 of their games to start our season, and Trey McMillan is just a sophomore. He's making sure everybody's going where they're supposed to. One thing about Trey McMillan, he goes where he's supposed to. He scored 13 touchdowns. He's got over 1,100 yards. Power run game for Baker. This kid's right in the middle of it.
Kingston Davis, the running back for Prattville. He's got 1,100 yards rushing this year, but he's not the only one in that 1,000-yard club, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, they've got Keith Washington, who has ran for 1,000 yards, as well as passed for 1,000 yards. He runs a spread offense, so look for him to spread them out, run up the middle, but then also pass it to the outside. He committed early to Duke, but then decided to open things back up, and he's got suitors from Cal, Northwestern, Miami, Wake Forest as well. His coach says he comes early, leaves late. He's a transfer in to this school from Texas, so he's a senior but not a veteran of this program. But look for him to be at the controls and at the helm of this offense for these guys out of Prattville.
This is the Lions' 71st playoff game all time. For Baker, their 7th. Kickoff comes up after this. Prattville and Baker. We open up the postseason on UTV 44. Coach Danny Smith getting his Hornets ready to go. Hornets are ready for a big game here tonight. They have packed it out at Baker, UTV 44. Game 1 of the postseason as we get ready for this one to kick off. Let's get on the field and go down and enjoy. Check in with Ashley.
This is Baker's 2nd playoff berth under Coach French. Before Coach French, it was 22 years since Baker has seen postseason play. In fact, guys, their last postseason win was back in 1984. I think I was 1 at the time. I think y'all were maybe in elementary school.
We're about ready to get this one underway. I think, to Ashley's point, they're a big part of this, Dan. Let's see how Baker handles the moment. I think that's going to be key.
Well, one thing about Baker, and just meeting with Coach Jack French during the summer, one thing he stresses, and there he is you're going to be tough, and you are going to play with emotion. He was a little bit worried about this team getting hit a lot with some of the targeting fouls and that kind of thing. That's kind of the way they play. They play with emotion, Jim. It'll be interesting.
2nd playoff berth under Coach French after they had gone 22 straight years without making it to the playoffs.
He's been the difference.
Everybody said, somebody's going to turn it around out there at Baker, and it's been Jack French who has done that. Back deep to receive for the Hornets. Juwan Gaynor, the cornerback. And ready to kick. A.J. Reed sends that one into the end zone, and Trey McMillan will not get a chance to bring that one out as Dan highlighted him in the pregame show. Baker's only loss this year came back in week 5 when they fell to the undefeated and still, as the season came to a regular close, Fairhope Pirates. Davidson, Kircher, Vaughn, Thompson, and Pitts up front for the Hornets. LaFleur, Owens, and Bird. And watch Bird in the tight end. He's their leading receiver, Brown, and he will be back there a lot with Trey McMillan. Bert Chappell, the tough quarterback, and Matthew Walker in there to do some blocking for the Hornets. Chapel gives it off to McMillan, the sophomore, and McMillan to about the 25-yard line. Here's Prattville. Their defense giving up 21 a game. Franklin Brown and James up front, the linebackers. Seaboard, Luker, Lawrence, and Johnson. And in the secondary, Hampton, Martin, Ty Lucas, and Blake Baker. For this Prattville team that went 8-2 on the year. Out at the 25, shotgun, Burt Chappell stumbling just as he took the handoff and losing one was Trey McMillan. It'll bring up third down. Here for the Hornets, Chappell. He's led this team all year long. We've enjoyed watching him as soon as he came on the scene, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, he's one of those quarterbacks that leads you with his toughness, and, you know, that's a shame right there because it looked like they had something going there. I think they won the line of scrimmage around the A-gap, and he was on his way. Just McMillan just stumbles over nothing.
Had a good visit with Burt Chappell III, he says he is. His dad, who played high school football with me at 180 pounds, right guard.
So they're going to have to take a timeout, Dan. Are they going to get a timeout? Play clock was winding down, and they got it. Oh, well, no, they're going to say that. Wow, now they're going to say this is strange because you had the official drop the flag and a timeout. Usually you don't get both. Usually you don't get the delay of game.
Let's see what we're going to end up with, because that, you're exactly right. You almost never see both. It's either or. All right, here comes the officials. Not sure where this crew's from either, Jim.
The play clock was winding down, and this is kind of one of those things we talked about. How do you handle the moment early on in a game? Lots of jitters, and
yeah, it looks like they're going to award them the timeout, or in this case, may punish them with the timeout. They had to take it. They're not moving the football, so it looks like they're just going to get the timeout and go from there.
Okay. This is a local crew. This is one we've seen before with Joey Pilgrim.
Baker had a timeout before the delay of game. It'll still be third down at the previous spot.
Everybody's working out the jitters a little bit.
that's right. There's Jack French.
No jitters with him.
He's seen a few football games, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
3rd and 8. Here for the Hornets, Chappell. He's thrown for 672 yards this year. Drops back, has plenty of time, comes over the middle, and he's able to get that one off on a great one-handed catch by Donald LaFleur. That one was behind him a little bit. LaFleur able to reach back and grab it, but he's going to be short of the first down.
He did a real good job just to catch this football. It was behind him, so it slowed his momentum down. Wasn't able to get enough speed headed upfield to get the first down, so it looks like it's going to be a punt situation for the Baker Hornets.
It wasn't a first down, but it sure was pretty.
Eric Seaboard, linebacker, forced him out of bounds, and Dylan Crutcher will come on to kick and punt this one away from about the 15. End over end kick. And the Lions decide to just get away from that one. It'll be down at the 26.
You know, the best playing the best. Some of the top high school football players in Alabama and Mississippi are headed to Montgomery December 13th for the 28th Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Football Game at historic Crampton Bowl. 2 40-member squads of high school seniors will match their talents in a 12 p.m. clash. Tickets now available online and will be available at the stadium on game day for $10 each. The event is hosted by the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association. Don't miss it, December 13th. A public service message from the Alabama High School Athletic Association.
So we get a first look at Keith Washington and Kingston Davis. And the first thing you know about Davis, number 20 there to the top of your screen, he is big, 6'2", 220. Dump it out of the backfield. First down out across the 45-yard line. And ball came loose at the end of that play, but Seth Knotts with his 21st catch of the season. Prattville averaging 36 points a game. Kenny Thomas, 6'6", 335 pounds up front. Scholarship offers all over. Jeff Coate, McDaniel, Wyatt, and the other Wyatt there. Knotts we saw just had the catch, and we see first carry tonight for Kingston Davis. 1,100 yards on the year, averages 110 yards a game. This Baker defense, Pearson, Kidd, and Reginald Jefferson, 5.5 sacks on the year. Williams Williams, Burnett. Marcus Thomas has had a great season, along with Gildersleeve, Trent Archie, Shin, Williams, and Gaynor. Round things out for the Hornets as the Prattville Lions move this one up to the 49. 2nd and 6. On the keeper, Washington on the far side. And he's going to have the first down to the 40-yard line.
Just what the scouting report says. They're going to spread you out, either throw it to the outside or they're going to spread you out, and they're going to run it up the middle there.
Yeah, they've got 2 different ways of doing that, and the quarterback comes up banged up a little bit.
Yeah, he's limping. Let's hope he's okay here early on. Looks like his spray's okay and not anything serious.
I mean, Davis really looks like a between the tackles guy.
Yes.
That's for sure.
First down here, and they'll give it off to Davis, and he has stood up in the hole, coming up to make the big stick for the Hornets.
Malik Williams.
Yeah, it was the safety Williams who came up. He was their leading tackler last week against Davidson and came up and was able to make the stop.
Yeah, be careful there, ducking that head on that tackle there. You don't want to get a serious injury there. That didn't look good.
Loss of 1. Washington is it back off to Davis, and Davis slips a tackle, and he's got a first down to the 25-yard line.
And there again, they spread you out, then come right on up the gut with it. Right off the bat, you notice there, Davis loves to keep those legs driving. That can get you some extra yardage after contact.
If you're built like him.
Davis on the left side. Move ahead for 4 more. Davis just a junior.
He's a formidable option 1, isn't he, with this running game right here?
No doubt about it. Already got 1,000 yards rushing this year. As Jim pointed out at the top of the telecast.
First time in Prattville's rich history that they've had 2,000-yard rushers in the same season, and now Washington wants to air this one out and just overthrew his intended receiver, and they'll bring up 3rd down here.
Well, run, and someone might be open on the pass, and in fact, he was open in the corner of the end zone.
Trying to overshot him there.
Yeah. Keegan Smith, the senior.
He's running alone.
3rd and 5 coming up. Washington looks over toward the sidelines. Inside 5, blitz coming from Gildersleeve. He's able to get it off onto the backfield to Davis, and Davis inside the 10. Davis all the way down, in for the touchdown. Wow, Washington hung in there tough, took the hit, and dumped it off to Davis, and Prattville impressive on the first drive of the game.
Nifty play by the quarterback there, and then, of course, the blocking was in front of the big Davis. He was able to watch this right here. Just flip it right as the pressure's on top of him. And, of course, the pressure came from where the play went. So you're 1 player down on defense and on that side of the field.
And the PAT is good. A.J. Reed puts Prattville on top by a score of 7-0, but Washington and Davis lead him down the field, and the junior has his 12th touchdown of the season in Prattville. On top 7-0 early in this one. Impressive off the bus here, Dan Brennan.
They sure looked good that first drive. And in fact, stopping Baker when Baker had the ball, McMillan stumbled on 2nd down, kind of set the Hornets back a little bit offensively. But that was no mirage on offense for Prattville, doing whatever they wanted to do right down the field, Vic.
No doubt about it. And tell you what, that was a just absolute great play selection on that 3rd down passing situation.
Reed down the middle of the field, and it bounds, and McMillan will pick it up at the 5. Trey McMillan right up the middle of the field. McMillan out across the 35, still on his feet, to the 40, all the way out to the 45-yard line, and great field position for the Lions, or I should say for the Hornets, to open up their 2nd drive.
I think Coach French is going to like what he sees right there. They set his offense up almost across the 50 there with the leg drive there, that back. How about that?
I tell you, we saw him look like he got shot out of a cannon in week 1 against Williamson.
Yep, opening kick of the season.
Got our attention about 12 seconds into the year. So he looks the same. He's still got those fresh legs here in week 1 of the playoffs. That kid is a very impressive kid.
Well, that's where you want to run those kickoffs back with reckless abandonment, getting up and down the field, north and south.
Direct snap to McMillan. Now they're going to pitch it back off. Lent wants to throw this one left-handed off to Chappell, and Chappell with the catch. And he's going to be close to a first down. Wow, there was a lot going on that play.
Yes, there was.
And you think it gained about 20 yards,
right.
but looks like it's only be good for
9 maybe?
Yeah, 9 maybe yards.
They kind of
9 or so.
Yeah, kind of snuck Chappell over to the near side and then pitched it back off to McMillan, who then pitched it to Lett, and Lett tossed it to Chappell.
Yeah, great job by Blake Baker for the Lions to still be back there as a corner to tackle Chappell.
Look for some power runs with Chappell, too. As I say that.
On cue, he's got the first down to the 42.
He's not just a handed-off guy.
Yeah, we've been watching this kid a couple of years, and we know, hey, he wants contact. When it's 3rd and short, Coach French going to say, okay, have at it, young man.
Well, he's got a great option now with McMillan, who's really developed as just a young guy, the running back. So a couple of guys you feel very comfortable with the ball in their hands, and a couple of guys that you can see play with a lot of toughness.
Yeah, not often you see a game where you've got 3 1,000-yard rushers in it. Chappell over 1,000, and then on the other side you got Washington and Davis over 1,000, and Chappell throwing for over 1,000, and McMillan rushing over 1,000. And this one goes nowhere as Ricky Brown gets pushed back.
Eric Seaborn there did a great job of just stringing that out there, not allowing him to get the edge out there on that perimeter, stretch him out, and then let his cohorts come in and help him make the tackle. 6'2", 190 senior there, Eric Seaborn.
Loss of 5 on the play.
This is not a down and distance that Baker specializes in. Nobody does, but they're not a great throwing team. Chappell, though, you know, he'll surprise you. I mean, he's got the arm. You just consider him more of a battler.
Ricky Brown back in there with Chappell. Chappell wants to keep it himself. Pushes ahead.
You know, you want to get 8 yards back real quick, just run a counter with Chappell. And, you know, it's kind of a roll of the dice, but you like your odds.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a given he's going to get some forward progress. And he likes putting his head down and going forward.
There's just something about the way he struts around, and it's not like, hey, look at me. It's more just like, let's get this thing going here.
It's that confidence, but not cocky.
Yeah.
That's what you see right there.
Right.
He was amped up before the game in warm-ups when we were down talking with him. He was ready to go.
Yeah. We didn't have a lot of words, just a couple.
3rd and 8. Chappell with time. Guns it over the middle, able to get it complete. He's got it off the floor with a first down and more. Donald LaFleur protects the ball inside the 5, and it's 1st and goal, Baker Hornets.
Like I said, he can throw it, and that time he had to thread it into LaFleur, who makes a great run after the catch, Vic.
Yeah, LaFleur catches it right here on that crossing, Patterson. Looks it in traffic. And then right here, I think he can get some more, but like Jim said, he's protecting the football more than concerned about gaining the yardage.
Yeah.
Give up your body, young man, and drive that ball on into the end zone. Never know if you're going to get back down there.
41 yards on the reception. LaFleur came in just 5 catches on the year, already 2 here in the first quarter.
2 good ones. This one will not go in the air, Jim.
Terrence Beard comes in the big package. Chappell wants to keep it. Chappell trying to push forward. Then he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, you could have went to Vegas on that one, Dan, that was not going to be a pass.
Yeah, no, there's no way around that. And you can see why. I mean, the blocking is excellent up front, Jim, and then just the sheer tenacity of Chappell is going to give you a chance to score every time.
Well, it's one of those things, personnel as well as management. Coach French, you don't want to put it in the air that often.
No.
And he's got the personnel to run it, so he's going to say do it.
Exactly.
Charles Hagar coming right at you, makes it 7-7. What an answer by the Lions.
What a game.
By the Hornets after the Lions go right down, and Chappell and his teammates come back and answer right away. And we're tied at 7. 4:40 to go in the first. It's round 1 of the playoffs here on UTV 44. After the long kickoff return, a little trickery got this drive going, but then 41 yards through the air, Donald LaFleur. Nice throw by Chappell, able to get out in front of him where he can continue his route, and then Chappell, I'll finish this one off. Chappell with his 18th rushing touchdown of the season.
You wonder what Chappell does for vacation. Maybe he goes over Niagara Falls in a barrel.
Well, he grew up watching his dad, I understand, winning all of these tough man contests.
Out of the fairgrounds.
Yeah, 7-time Mobile champion.
Yep, edged me out twice.
Then he said something, FX, 2-time champion, you know, so, and those of you all in that world of tough man, you know, you're probably very familiar with Burt Chappell III, who is Burt Chappell, I guess, the 4th father.
So we'll also have more tough man updates throughout the evening as well, we hope. 6 plays, 60 yards, but again, it was the long return on the kickoff by McMillan that set it up.
And that was tough, too, right?
Now we'll see Prattville Lions back out here. Washington got a little dinged up. It seems like he's been okay since then. Gives it off to Davis. Davis to the 25-yard line. Gildersleeve was there and also got some help from the secondary. Other games tonight, Jeff Davis and Fairhope in 7A. Fairhope unbeaten on the year, Region 1 champions. Prattville and Baker, the game you're enjoying here on UTV 44. Foley in Auburn tonight, and Murphy in Central Phoenix City. Jamie Dubo's former coach. Prattville, Northridge, and Spanish Fort. Bessemer City versus Saraland. Daphne and Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, and Blunt and McAdory tonight. And now Washington rolling out. Fires this one incomplete. He's trying to get that one to Donovan Boone.
Well, that's 2 times he's overshot some receivers. He's showing us what type of arm he's got there, huh, Dan?
Yeah, inaccurate.
At the moment.
At the moment.
He's got some fire to go with it, though.
He's a very skilled athlete, for sure.
60 completions out of 102 tries for 1,008 yards on the season. And 3rd and 8 coming up here, and the Baker crowd trying to cheer on their Hornets. Washington rolls out, looks to throw, and this one through the hands of Donovan Boone again, and a 3 and out coming up here.
Yeah, they tried to roll him out to get him outside of the pocket there, but the outside linebacker came up as his read there. Even the inside backer was coming in on a bird dog, and they didn't get rid of the football.
Yeah, it was enough to make him again off center a little bit.
Baker a chance to flip the field here. William Johnson. Good kick. McMillan says he's going to get away from it. But still good field position at the 39-yard line for the Baker Hornets. So a 3 and out. Hey, want to thank Baldwin County and Mobile County Sheriff's Department along with the Drug Education Council. I want to remind you that Spice Kills. Go to spicekills.com. Want to thank them for being a part of our high school football season all year long and set up tailgates here at all of our games. And thanks for them for being a part of high school football here on UTV 44. If you are watching this game on Saturday night and you're saying, why is this game on Saturday? They played it last night. Well, state rules do not allow us to broadcast the games live, so we have to put them on tape delay, which does not make Burt Chappell happy either. We'll give this one off. And McMillan has it all the way inside the 45, inside the 40. Look at the sophomore bring it to the 34-yard line.
You know, I was out at the fairgrounds a couple of weeks ago, helped host the rodeo. I never saw anything like this.
Well, look at it there. He's pretty slippery there. Looks like a calf trying to get taken down by a bunch of cowboys, and he's saying, no, I am going up the field with this football.
Well,
26 yards.
Some tenacious young men on the field tonight.
We'll get a look at McMillan. What a year he had. 13 touchdowns, 1,100 yards rushing, 300 yards receiving as well. And they'll give it right back to him and right up the middle. Move it to about the 30-yard line. You knew this Baker team was going to be excited. Could they control the emotions? I think maybe you saw it a little bit on that first drive, but now looks like maybe they've fallen back into the routine.
Yeah, and I think they've got to play with emotion. That's who they are. You talk about being too amped up, and I guess that's always a possibility, Vic.
But as long as you peak at the right time.
Exactly. I mean, they've got to they're all about every, giving everything they've got. So you don't want to amp them back at all.
Yeah, but you want to come out just about game time. Looks like it's happening.
Quick fire over the middle, incomplete. Lett couldn't hold on to it, and he had him there. His little play fake to Ricky Brown, and Christopher Lett, the senior, had some space in front of him.
Talking about being amped up, I think Burt was really amped to get that out. He saw how wide open he was, and he wanted to quickly deliver it. But you got to take a little bit of mustard off that short distance pass.
3rd and 5. Here for Baker. The winner of this game will play the winner of Central Phoenix City and Murphy next week. Central Phoenix City, coached by former Prattville coach Jamie Dubose. Pulling it down is Chappell. Chappell driven to the 25-yard line.
That's a sticks.
We need a measurement, or if he's got it.
Nice little move there to avoid the would-be defender and tackler to pick up the extra yards and make it a close one.
He's got the first down.
Close, nope, he's going. Kick the sticks.
Iron Man. To the 25-yard line.
Tell you what, this crowd's excited as well, and they are an early arriving crowd. I got here at 5:30 and couldn't park. Well, no, you know I wasn't here at 5:30. I got here at 6:30 and couldn't find a park.
Wildcat, they go straight to McMillan. Trying to get around the edge. High tackle with McMillan. Able to continue going forward. Anthony Brown got him up top, but Millen forced it down to about the 22.
So what slows McMillan down? Grabbing him around the neck? No. That's not enough either.
Inside 2 minutes.
Maybe we have to tell him his mother's looking for him. He may slow down then.
No, he'll race to her. We have 2 more years of watching McMillan. How fortunate are we? Yeah.
Chappell, the senior. Gives it off. They bring in Curtis Gildersleeve. No, it's Ricky Brown with the carry. Two number ones on the Baker roster. Both these teams have that issue that so many players, Prattville like 140 players on their roster, and Baker with a ton as well.
Well, it's okay as long as both ones or both whatevers are not on the field at the same time.
Right.
Not just for the referee purposes, but more importantly, Jim Cox.
Thank you.
3rd down coming up, and they bring McMillan back in. Chappell quick over the middle this time. Lett able to hold on. But he's got it, and he'll have the first down for the Baker Hornets inside the 15.
Yeah, I was talking with Danny Smith about this type of play here, and he was talking about the other teams doing it, but look, they're doing it where it's a run-pass situation. Nobody knows except the quarterback what he's going to do with the football. The linemen are doing the same thing, which throws all your key reading and basics out in terms of playing defense, what you normally do, because the linebackers are reacting to what the linemen are doing, but they're doing the same thing, whether it's pass or run. So what do you do? I told him, what do you do? He says, well, just play football.
That's all you can do, react.
Yes.
Play clock at 5, and they give it off McMillan. We'll pick up a couple there, and that'll be the last play of the first quarter.
I don't like it, man.
I'll tell you, Danny was frustrated about that, and I was frustrated because I've been watching it happen.
We're through round one of the playoffs. Baker and Prattville 7-7 with the second quarter coming up, and the Hornets on the drive. Big crowd here in West Mobile tonight, and their team, the Baker Hornets, took a quick punch early from the Prattville Lions, and now they've answered back. And Prattville there. Coach Chad Anderson graduated from Prattville High School, 8 years at Wetumpka, and 3rd year here, 20-9, just 0-1 in the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs last year, lost in the first round 2 years ago, and 20-9. Those are not Prattville-like numbers you're used to seeing.
No, and even though he is from Prattville, he played at Prattville. You have to have thick skin to be the head coach of Prattville.
Yeah, he's a very nice guy, man. Talked to him prior to the game. Enjoyed my visit.
Yep. 2nd and 9. Get this one off to Terrence Beard. Beard is just 20th carry of the season, down to the 9-yard line. Third down coming up for the Hornets. Beard, a junior.
All the little dive play there up the middle just to make sure they're being honest in the center of the field. Sure they want to set something up off of it.
3rd and 6 coming up. Addison McMillan out in motion, empty the backfield. Play clock at 2, Chappell. Looking to throw, fires far side, wide open is Lett. He dives and he's in for the touchdown. Christopher Lett, the senior, with a playoff reception for a touchdown.
And what gets him on in untouched is a great block out there by Trey McMillan, who, Jim, you pointed out, going in motion out there. He holds up defenders so that he could just almost walk in other than that blade of grass that was about to tackle.
Yeah, Lett had a drop on that drive and then came back, made another catch. A tough one in traffic, and then has that one for the touchdown. And Hagar on, and we'll get our first flag of the game.
It looks like Dotarius Johnson got a little anxious to kind of wanted to affect his extra point.
False start by the offense. 5-yard penalty, repaid the extra point.
So Dotarius, and my apologies, you were drawn offside, young man.
We'll push it back to the 15. Make it a 25-yard PAT. Boy, we've seen how big PAT can come in a close game. A couple weeks ago, Viger in St. Paul's with a 14-13 final on a missed PAT.
Yep, we've seen that for years.
He's 44 of 46 on the year, and nails that one through, and Baker with a 14-7 lead with 14 unanswered against Prattville. How about the way Jack French's squad has answered back after that early drive and score from the Prattville Lions?
This has just been an enjoyable game to be at, you know, to prepare for, to get ready for. You had a feeling we might have something to really, a treat for the eyes tonight in the senses, and we do. And there's a guy that's coached in so many big games like this. Yeah, this Baker program hasn't been in this position very often, but you know what? He has, and all those guys in navy blue, they believe in him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And then you talk about this game. How about the atmosphere here? I mean, I was talking about the crowd getting here early, and I thought it was the Prattville crew, but no, that side was empty. Got here, and I'm telling you, it is a packed house, and they're excited.
10 plays on that drive, 61 yards, 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, the first great drive was Prattville,
Yep.
and it was an eye-opener, and it was quick. And since then, Baker's done it twice against the Lions. It looked tough to stop.
Charles Hagar on to kick, and Kingston Davis back deep, and they'll send it to the near side, and Davis takes it at the 20. Now back to the middle of the field, wants to cut it up, tries to get to the outside, and he does. And now a good return by the Lions as Davis all the way into Baker territory. He'll be brought down at the 42-yard line. What a return.
But he does have 1,000 yards on the year, so he knows how to move the football. So he shows you what he can do right here on the kickoff. Don't go for the wedge thing. He just kind of sets his blocks up for the inside and takes it on the outside. Makes a man miss right there and continues to lumber downfield till they push him out of bounds.
They'll say he stepped out at the 45-yard line, a 36-yard return. Says our statistician, Brian Aaron, we're going to throw a challenge flag on that one to give the inside a pickup of 2. Christian Mays, the senior, his first carry tonight. Don't forget, all playoffs long. You can follow us on Facebook. Search UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week. Great information there. And now we see 3 backs in the backfield with Washington. We'll give it off. Mays picks up a couple going off the left side. Third down coming up.
Nice little give to the inside. Like to spread you out and then go up the middle.
Right at your belly.
Right there. That time just kind of had the one-by-ones and did it.
Roomcourt comes in to make the stop. For the Hornets, it's 3rd and 2. Washington on the keeper, goes up the right side. He's got a first down and hurdles more and lands awkwardly at the 25.
Hope he's okay. He's all right, but man.
Didn't look good in action, did it?
Yeah, it looked like he may have come down very, very awkwardly, but...
The Baker crowd thought that the stop had been made. They didn't realize he still had the ball.
Okay.
I thought he landed kind of like a scissor with his leg from us being...
No. Okay, just right on the can. He's okay.
Give Davis... Nope, that's going to be Joseph Burke getting his first carry. Burke, 215-pound junior.
Yeah, either one. You don't want to let them get started on you.
Malik Williams, safety, comes up to make the stop for the Hornets, and quickly the Lions are on the move again inside the 20. Washington on the keeper, looking to throw, dances out to the right, throws it toward the end zone. He's able to get Knotts for the touchdown.
What a job by Washington. Come off his first read and go to his second read. Kind of threads the needle to get it to him. It's a little bit behind the receiver, but he was forced to because of the coverage. The receiver does a good job adjusting his body to catch it right there.
Seth Knotts with his 7th touchdown.
Prattville answering.
A.J. Reed for the PAT, and we are tied at 14.
Who would have thought a shootout between these two groups?
Yeah, they score a lot of points. Defensively, they're both prone to give up a few here and there. And the offense going here tonight for both sides.
What is happening right here before our eyes. And those of you at home on Saturday night, you missed a good one so far.
Well, I can tell you that this is similar to a game that Baker had to round out the year last week against Davidson.
Yep. All right, let's send it back down for another sideline report. Ashley.
This week, Coach French has told us that Prattville knows a lot about winning. They have a history of winning, but it's a new day, and that his Baker team is going to have to play the best game ever. And right now, it's tied, and the performance looks pretty good.
It was an even game thus far, kind of a punch-counter-punch so far here tonight.
Yeah, the offenses are ruling so far. He's not going to get out-coached. Jack French ruling the sidelines now, 4th year at Baker.
Yep.
What a difference he's made. All the difference that you could make.
So many coaches have come through here, and everybody kept saying somebody's going to get there and do it. And Gaynor has his momentum taken back into the end zone.
Big play.
Yep.
You know, big play preventing any kind of a kick return.
Those were in round 1 of the playoffs here. Trivia time. Playoff version. Bonus points.
Exciting.
Bonus points if you get them right. What school has gone to the playoffs the most time in Alabama? Noodle that one through. Check back in with you in the second
Almost
half.
can be anybody. Dan not even giving a crack on that one.
Vic's thinking Shaw.
Yeah, I'm wishing Shaw.
I don't think he's right. I don't think that's right. I think that's with his heart.
It is not op either. It is not op. Brian Aaron guessing op. That was not correct. I'm just going to go ahead and dismiss a few early guesses here. And now the Hornets from their 20. Chappell on the keeper on the left side, and Chappell's got a first down and a couple more.
That's what he can do for you. Well, he can do a lot of things for you. Right here, just a power kind of counter with Chappell. Could be a running back, but instead it's just the quarterback. Same thing.
Seeing the safeties on both teams make a lot of tackles early on here, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, you're going to have to, because when these guys break open in the open field, they're the last line of defense, and you don't want to give up a touchdown being back there, and you got an opportunity with your shoulders square to come up and do it.
Chappell's got good size for a high school quarterback, too, at right about 200 pounds.
Chappell looking to throw. Now he's going to pull it down and scramble up the middle of the field.
Hey, Dan, I think that's his second read.
Yeah, and that's okay.
He's covered.
And it's certainly okay with Coach French.
Yeah. Up to the 42-yard line. Here's the 7A Region 1 standings. Fairhope unbeaten on the year. Baker, their only loss in that Week 5 game over across the bay when they lost to the Pirates. Foley and Murphy, your other playoff teams. It's surprising. McGill, Tulin, you know, not expecting. A lot of people didn't expect they would be a team that would not qualify for the playoffs this year.
Nice bounce back here from Murphy, too. Credit to him.
Yep. Rick Cawley, new head coach. Give it to McMillan, who had lined up wide, and now he's into midfield and across midfield for a first down.
That jet sweep is just deadly, and a lot of offenses are using it. And you've got the personnel that can run it, a guy that can come across the field real fast, stick his foot in the ground, and then go north and south at the same speed. That's why it's called that jet sweep. You've got something.
That's what he seems to do.
To the 48-yard line. We're inside 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Ashley Pope on the sideline. Jared Kihos back in the truck with us here tonight. Brian Aaron, our statistician. This is Ricky Brown trying to change direction, and Brown going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and a pack of Lions there to make sure he gets no more.
Yeah, he tried to run the stretch play, but he tried to bend it back all the way back. But good discipline by the Prattville defense just to stay right where they're supposed to be, shut down the back door.
Sieben and Octavius Betts in to make the tackle. 2nd and 10. Coming here for the Lions, they'll bring McMillan back into the backfield. Beard to block for him. And Chappell dropped in the backfield there with penetration. There are 5A games going on tonight. St. Paul's with a home matchup. Central and Tuscaloosa taking on Jackson Viger on the road tonight. And BC Rain and Demopolis. I don't think anybody's happy about that Viger draw. Sipsey Valley 4-6 taking on UMS Wright. Bibb County and Clark County, W.S. Neal and Northside. Thomasville with a road matchup to open up round 1 of the playoffs. Always love these 2-3 matchups.
Yeah, that's what we've got right here.
Yep. 3rd and 12. Chappell looking to dump it to McMillan out of the backfield. McMillan spins at the 50. Gets to the 49-yard line and about the original line of scrimmage, so this drive's going to stall.
Yeah, they tried to set up that wide screen over there to the wide side of the field, but the Prattville defense was ready for it. They just got on their horses and got over there and gang tackle.
Octavius Betts.
You know, Johnson just turning that play back inside was probably the biggest thing right there. He gets blocked on the play, but it all moves back inside of him where the Lions can pursue and make the stop.
That's right, and ideally, that's what any defensive coordinator wants done.
Crutcher on to kick. Baker stands back deep. Along with Keegan Smith. Great high punt. Let's see if this one checks up. Nope, goes through the end zone.
Great punt by that young man there.
And at the 20, that's where the Lions will take over.
The Alabama High School Athletic Association reminds fans that we all play a role in the education of our students. Parents, fans, and people in the community all set an example for students, whether they're aware of it or not. Help set a positive example in everything you do, both at the games and in your community. Good sportsmanship is what sets your school apart. A public service message from the Alabama High School Athletic Association.
And from Dan Brennan.
You know, I'm all for it, man. Sportsmanship. Why not?
Amen.
At the 20. Washington, Dick mentioned he committed to Duke, and then now he's opening it back up. Miami's offered him. Northwestern, lots of places. Joseph Burke takes the handoff. Gets a couple across the line of scrimmage before John Burnett, the senior linebacker, comes in to make the stop.
Man, Burnett goes high, but he goes effective. Nice stop right after a very short game.
Another one of those kids right out of Central Casting as a linebacker for a high school football team.
For Baker.
Yep.
Right?
Pickup of 2. Washington kind of had a coming out party for this Prattville team against Gulfport. 269 yards on the ground early in the season. They keep it here. And Burnett's there again. That jumping up in the air puts yourself in a dangerous position.
They've got a dangerous 1-2 punch, though, with Washington and the big bruising Davis.
A couple of the other schools that have offered Washington, California, Hawaii, just saying. Nice places here on 3rd down. Far side will keep it. It's going to be, looks like maybe a little short. Look on the far side here.
Right at the sticks, Jim.
He's got the first down.
Well, if Keith Washington's really smart, he'll take his visit to Hawaii regardless.
Why would you not, right?
I was hoping they would send me just a letter. Never happened. I had to wait till I was out of school and college before I get a chance to visit.
I've never been to Hawaii, Vic, so I'm not feeling badly for you.
You've got to go.
Well, Jim,
Been 3 times, I think. It is.
Hey, you've been there as well. Washington picks up a couple.
no big chunks like we saw on the that first drive, especially for Prattville. Baker defense kind of getting their legs about him right now.
Curtis Gildersleeve there with the stop. Pick up of 3 as Hornets have 3.5 minutes to go. 2. Go around the near side. This is Mays, and Mays is going to have another first down for the Lions. Burnett there to wrap him up.
Yeah, he was waiting on a couple of key blocks to get for him right about there and that one. And then he could turn the corner and get upfield for the first down.
Trent Archie couldn't get off the block there to make the stop. And so a first down here for the Lions.
Big drive.
After they came up with the stop, Mays comes in motion and back in behind, and he'll take the handoff, and he's just slips.
Yep.
Yeah, he was there so fast to get the handoff. I didn't think he was going to get it because the snap was there, and then Washington just pulls the snap down and just hands it to him right there as he passes by. Good timing by him as well. They've worked together all year to perfect that thing. It looks like they had it, other than the slip down.
No gain on first down. Washington drifts out, floats one to the far side. Good job to go up and haul that one in, as that was thrown high. That is Tevin Sharp with the reception.
These teams are not very dissimilar. Personnel a little bit different, but they certainly play.
Yeah, they gain their yardage by the same personnel, the quarterback and that little halfback.
3rd and a long 2 for the Lions. We haven't seen Davis back in there. Burt. Now they'll run the option. They pitch it off to Burke, and he's got the first down. Another big back up to the 40 here for the Lions.
They had that blocked really well on the edge, Vic.
They did, and the key to it is Keith Washington pitches it out really fast to the back, so the back can be decisive and go upfield with it.
Washington saw he had something on the edge and got it to him quickly. No need to deceive.
Yeah. I don't think he was reading it at all. I think that was the call play to the wide side of the field, so that the back can get the football and hell it, go north and south and kick the sticks for the first down.
Gotcha.
Play clock approaching 5. Blitz coming. Washington rolls out to his right, fires on the far side. He's got Boone, and Boone stays in bounds to the 27-yard line.
Donovan Boone catches this ball with really soft hands right there. It's like he's done that a couple of times.
Saw Marion Williams was coming on the blitz there. Good job that being picked up, and another first down for the Lions with 1:17 to go in the second. Boone will come over to the bottom of the screen this time. There's Washington, 6'2", 170 pounds, 2,084 yards of total offense coming into tonight's game. And he's adding to those numbers here in the first half. Now looking to throw with pressure. Eludes that. Fires it out of the backfield. He's able to get that one off to Burke, who's got it in for the touchdown.
Well, what about a little calmness out of him there?
No doubt. Well, he's looked calm all night.
Yeah, I mean, there was some heat coming on, and he says, oh, well, let me just move over to my right just to avoid the defender here, and I'll float it up here to this guy. And he just rumbles in for a touchdown, untouched.
7th touchdown of the season for Joseph Burke. A.J. Reed to try to put Prattville back on top by 7. It's been back and forth the entire first half. That one is not pretty, but it goes through, and it's 21-14. The Lions now have scored 14 straight after the Hornets had done the same. See where we're at. Vic Lockett. Old 99, the defensive one. He's just not a fan. Just not a fan when all this scoring takes place.
Yeah, when Jim's screaming a whole lot, that means I'm at the wrong football game. That means there's a lot of points on the board.
Well, you can credit Keith Washington, though, who really is a cool customer and so gifted athletically. He doesn't even look like he's sweating out there, and he's making plays on the fly, you know?
Well, that's what you expect out of a quarterback. They will get you out of bad plays.
Reed sends this one back. Gainer at the 1. Gainer to the 25-yard line. Wrapped up there, and we've seen that past couple drives. Started now with not quite as good a field position as great job by the special teams there.
Yeah, you got a minute to go, and you're not a high-powered, spread-it-out offense that likes to go downfield. What do? You're more of a ball control type of offense that is productive. These are not the situations that you are built for if you're Baker. Let's see what they choose to do.
But you do have Trey McMillan who can take one to the house.
Yeah, just maybe get him on the outside, maybe a screen. Give him a chance, maybe see what happens the first play or two, and that might determine what you do after that. There you go.
Out of the backfield, a low throw. He's able to pick it up and cuts it back to the middle of the field, drops the shoulder to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's what they tried. They just tried to, see what they could get with something like that. Maybe a big play that changes the dynamics of the drive.
Yeah, but that Prattville's defense is flowing so well out there on the perimeter and the outside, just not letting things get to their edges.
Trey only needs a little bust, though.
They come. Holden Burden. It's that one. Picks up just a couple. And now, if you're Prattville, you take a timeout here. Oh, he did pick up the first down, so not take the timeout.
Okay.
So he might take a timeout there, stop on 3rd down, get a chance to get it back one more time.
They picked it up barely.
Yeah, and now the clock winds again. Chappell dumps it to the near side, and it's McMillan, and McMillan can't get out of bounds. And so they'll take a timeout with 14 seconds left. 2nd down coming up after the timeout. Prattville will get the football to start the second half.
Look at the dog.
14 seconds left. 1 timeout for the Hornets remaining as well. Prattville went on top 7-0 to start this one. Then Baker with a couple of touchdowns. They were on top 14-7, and now Prattville with 2 straight of their own. At 21-14 lead here late in quarter number 2.
Glad we're here.
Yep.
Couple of heavyweights. Really good game.
Have we not had some great games this season?
We surely have.
I tell you what, this is too much scoring for me, though. I'm telling you, the theme at halftime is going to be these head coaches helping these defensive coordinators figure out a way to stop these 2 offenses because they have just been taking blow for blow.
Yep, the defensive stop has been the exception.
Baker team, as Ashley mentioned, their only win back in 1984, 1-5 all time in the playoffs. That 84 team then lost in the 2nd round. Got beat by Theodore. Chappell pulls it down. He's got some field in front of him, comes up the near side, and he'll step out of bounds, takes a hit right at the 45.
Chappell's going to let you live for another play.
What's funny to me is his first read is that first route. Okay, it's not there. All right, I'm running it. Yeah. I got this.
Well, also down in distance might have something to do with that, Vic, but I know what you're saying. That's the way he operates.
Only threw 2 interceptions all year. Takes care of the football.
Yeah, you have to make him fumble to get an interception.
Just 7.5 seconds left. 4 receivers. Chappell has time, comes over the middle, and that one overthrown and incomplete as he was trying to get McMillan with 3.8 ticks left.
Yeah, Trey had his hands stretched out there. Looks like the ball kind of went through between his hands there. But he just wasn't able to pull it down.
If McMillan grabs that, I'm not I'm not so sure just to end the half.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you. I don't.
Right there, that crossing, yep, a little bit behind him and through his hands. It would have been a tough catch anyway.
3.8 seconds left at the 45. Chappell's got a good strong arm.
We're about to find out.
3 receivers up top, and they'll keep.
We know he's got strong legs.
McMillan in the backfield, and they're coming to the near side looking for Burton. It's tipped up and incomplete as there were 2 defenders back there and a third converging as well, and that brings the first half to a close. An entertaining one, to say the least. 21-14. Prattville with the lead as we'll wait for Ashley to catch up with Coach Anderson. And then we'll be able to tell you all about our last player of the game we had during our final season, the UMS St. Paul's matchup we had here on UTV 44. And let's go down to Ashley. She's got Coach Anderson.
Coach Anderson, you started it off scoring. Baker answered back. We're going back and forth. What has surprised you the most about this team so far?
Not really anything. I mean, they've got some good talent. So Coach French does a good job with those guys, and they can move it down the field, and they bring a lot of pressure. So hopefully we can handle it and keep working. Anything in particular you want to see more of your guys in the second half? Just finish the game. That's the big thing. Finish the game. Thank you so much.
All right, we appreciate Coach Anderson checking in with us here. We are through the first half, 21-14. Prattville with the lead. Last week here on UTV 44, it was the Battle of Old Shell Road, and it was all St. Paul's. The Saints came out in impressive fashion, able to get the win over their big rivals. And Miller Mosley was our player of the game, so congratulations to Miller. We'll take a timeout. Halftime here. Prattville on top of Baker by a touchdown. We'll hear from the bands coming up after this. Halftime, Baker and Prattville here on UTV 44. Prattville on top 21-7. Let's go down and enjoy their band. Halftime 21-14, Baker on top. Prattville on top of the Hornets, and let's go down and enjoy the Baker band.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Baker High School Band.
Bears back on the field here at the half. You see our score 21-14. It was really a back and forth first half, and really I thought it was up to Baker to answer that first impressive drive by Prattville, and then Prattville had to come back and answer after Baker put 2 quick ones on the board.
Yeah, had some momentum going in that first half, including Prattville right out of the gate after Baker stalled on their first drive. Prattville was the first one on the board, and we started noticing, ooh, these defenses are having a little trouble slowing these guys down. Right?
Yeah, and hopefully they've got it corrected here at the halftime to figure out how to stop them, you know, because, I mean, Jim's going to be hoarse.
Lockett yelling at them in the locker room may help at that situation.
He took the time to yell at each defense.
So we had lots of scoring, much to the chagrin of Vic Lockett over there, and it was Prattville came out really impressive, got the football after a stop and opened up and really got on the board quickly.
Yeah, I mean, when you just throw a quick screen after to Davis, who goes about 220 pounds, and then head of steam. Watch Chappell. He goes about 200 for a quarterback draw and gets Baker back on it. Here's where Baker takes the lead.
Yeah,
right there.
Able to get let for the touchdown. And then it was 14-14, and then the touchdown there, Seth Knotts. And then here, boy, this was a thing of beauty. Boy, what composure by Washington there, Vic Lockett.
Yeah, I mean, he just moves over and finds the open receiver and makes something happen that looks like nothing was going to happen on.
Be curious, we didn't see a lot of Davis there in the second quarter. Didn't see how much you see him in the back.
I don't know if it was an injury to him or not, but they were going with other running backs and not him, and that would be a break against Prattville for sure.
Look at the rushing yardage, 93 yards apiece on the ground. Total yardage, just 14 yards separate the two teams, and disciplined teams as well. Just 1 penalty and no turnovers there in the first half as well. There's our scoring summary, and look at what each quarterback has done so far here. Should be a good one in the second half. Ashley had a chance to catch up with Coach French as he came out of the locker room. Let's hear what he had to say. Ashley.
How was he going to win tonight? And he looked at the scoreboard and he smiled, believe it or not, and he said, I like what I see so far. We're scoring. We just got to keep scoring and we'll win this thing. So he seems like a happy man right now.
Coach French, Dan's alluded to it so many times in the first half, just the great job he has done. Again, if you're just tuning in, you know, this is a place out here, second largest school in the state, I believe. You know, so many athletes out here, great in other sports. Everybody kept saying, when are they going to be great in football? We've seen coaches come, coaches go. Jack French came here, and he has been the difference maker, as you said.
I don't know if they're great yet, but they're as good as we've ever seen them.
And whatever it is, he has. And I understand he handles them like a CEO.
I kick to the far side. So here's Davis back there at the 20. Had a big return in the first half to the 35-yard line. Miller Mosley, as we were telling you about, our last game of the regular season. UMS going up against St. Paul's, and the quarterback, boy, he got it going early on here for the Saints.
Yeah, we always were told Mosley was as fast a guy as they had on the team, and we became believers in about the third play of the game last week.
Videotape proof.
Yeah, man, Miller Mosley took it to the house. Congratulations to that young guy, and a dominating win by St. Paul's.
Yeah, big night on the ground, big night in the air as well, and he leads his team to their 5th straight win over their rivals up Old Shell Road. And Miller Mosley with the Tank Brown Award. And congratulations to Miller and the Saints. And now the play clock down to 3. Let's see if they're going to get it off. They are not. It's going to be a delay of game penalty unless they take a timeout. To see a flag was dropped. They got the timeout. So, wow, you don't often see the timeout first play, and you just saw Chad Anderson there saying, hey, that one's on me, guys, my fault.
Yeah, you never see that, and in a game like this,
could be very valuable to have that timeout.
Could be crucial, yeah. Well, Prattville, I'll tell you, though, they've shown up tonight. It's a nice long drive down 65, but they didn't shy away from the start. This is a program that knows how to win. We talked about that. 50 playoff wins, the team in white, the school in white, as opposed to the guys in navy blue with 1.
Yeah, they have qualified for the playoffs 25 different occasions, 50 and 20 overall, 84 state championship, and then had that great run. Bill Clark and Jamie Dubose there, 06, 07, and 08. I think they won 56 straight region games at one point in 6A in the biggest classification as well, and they won it in 2011 as well. Jamie Dubose, who's now the head coach at Central Phoenix City, dumped out to the near side, and that's Keegan Smith with the reception. He falls down at the 40-yard line. Prattville this year, their only losses came to Central Phoenix City and Auburn. And Auburn, a team that finished The losing record on the year. That came up with a big 37-7 win over this Prattville team. Pick up a 5 there on first down after the timeout.
Surprising score when you look at their work for the whole year.
On the option, pitch it out to Davis with a big hole in the big back. Has got big yardage as he's down to the 40-yard line before Gildersleeve rides him down.
Yeah, he did the quick pitch there. You take a look at it right here. Got some great blocking out of his wide receivers out there just to give him room to run and work with. But he makes the best of it.
Ooh, a flag all the way back at the line of scrimmage on the far side. And this one's
erase all of that good work.
Yeah, yeah. But what's that? A big play right there.
Well, I tell you what, it wasn't on the receivers, I don't think, because I saw great blocking by those guys at the line of scrimmage.
Well, if you're Prattville, you're saying, where was it? And who was it?
Walking in the back by the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
It's almost a 30-yard swing in field position on that one play.
That's a killer right there. Boy, we like the composure and athleticism.
You would think
of Washington.
A kid who's being offered scholarships to Duke and Northwestern and those type places, Cal,
may have those things.
Yeah, qualities he possesses.
Yes.
Washington rolls out, and he's going to be hit and drop back at the 24-yard line. Nowhere to go with the pressure coming on, and wrapping him up is Trent Archie. The cornerback came on a blitz. Now it's not going to be Archie. Against Alec Hazard,
Alex Hazard, he's got an automatic probably go from Danny Smith as that inside linebacker. If he rolls out, just go in and apply that red dog pressure to make him hurry to pass.
3rd and forever. Washington pressure from Jefferson, floats it and just throws it out of bounds. They'll bring up a punt here and a flag. Wow.
Right.
Well, he's got 2 options on his flag. He probably can get lineman downfield or just throwing it away in intentional ground.
He was still in the pocket.
Because he certainly, they gonna get him for the intentional grounding, because he actually kind of rolled out. I thought he may have gotten outside of it, but one of the two.
Wow. On this drive, they had it at the 40 of the Hornets before that block in the back penalty.
They're about to snap it from the 12.
Jim. Punt from their own end zone.
By the offense, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. The down will count. It'll be 4th down.
50 yards. They went backwards. And now Baker should get great field position.
How about that coming out of the locker room?
All started with a timeout, right?
Reed with a good kick. And Trent Archie calls for a fair catch at the 48-yard line.
In Alabama, good sportsmanship is a high school tradition. Whether at home or on the road, make our schools, our communities, and our students proud by displaying positive sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship and positive citizenship, vital in the development of good citizens. The AHSAA gladly welcomes the challenge of being leaders in sportsmanship and continuing this proud tradition. And this is a public service message from the Alabama High School Athletic Association.
Great field position here for the Hornets, down a score, and they go on a hard count. It looks like they draw Prattville. Often Prattville a little rattled maybe coming out here in the second half.
Yeah, their conversations in the locker room didn't seem to be translating to the field. I'm sure it wasn't positive.
Encroachment by the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
It wasn't positive for the defense, but they've got to pull themselves together as a team and play this second half and come out, start playing with some poise.
I think in the second quarter they played pretty well defensively. Prattville did.
Prattville, no penalties in the first half, and 3 here in the second half.
Really crowding the line of scrimmage right now with more coming.
1st and 5, Chappell wants to keep it, wanted to throw it, now he's going to pull it down and run. Chappell drops the shoulder and delivers a big blow as he goes up against the strong safety, Ty Lucas there. That Chappell loved every second of that.
Yeah, that'll make the coaches and his father proud there. You get some pads popping. As I tell you, that he's going to get that first read. Second read is use my legs then next I'm going to give you the shoulder in the business.
Man, a very entertaining 4.5 yards. Thank you, Bert.
They're going to bring the sticks over and measure on that one. And Bert Chappell, he was tough as a junior when we saw him.
Yeah, you know, it's sometimes you watch players and you really can't make out too much about them aside from, you know, their ability. The personality doesn't necessarily show up. This guy's personality, his persona on the field is pretty obvious.
You know, and I think it's fair to a fair classification of Jack French to say he's an old school type of coach.
Yes.
And I think Bert Chappell, an old school type of football player.
Yeah, no doubt.
Being the son of a 180-pound guard.
Right. That was a few years ago now.
Yeah, it was, but still, he was on the tiny side. And when I'll tell you what, when his dad got in front of me for Oklahoma drill, I was happy. I wasn't too afraid.
Neither was he, Vic.
He probably wasn't. Bert the third. He's one of our first responders now. I told him if I'm ever in trouble, I hope he comes to get me.
McMillan up the middle, slips a tackle, and McMillan to the 24-yard line before he's brought down on another first down here for the Hornets.
Yeah, you couldn't do bad by calling this kid or this guy either if you're in trouble. Look at McMillan, man. And a little blocking in the A-gap again, and he's great on the edge, but he's also tough between the tackles for somebody not that big.
Yeah, got a lot of swivel in his hip there, too. Make you miss, and he runs straight through you.
All those penalties against Prattville leading to this.
Yep. Leading to the Hornets at the 24, looking to tie this one up early on in the third. McMillan up the middle. Boy, he pushes ahead hard to the 18.
So does that line.
I was about to say, he's getting good push up front as well to assist, huh?
All together now.
To the 19 and second down. Coming up here for the Hornets. The winner of this game gets either Murphy or Central Phoenix City next week. McMillan on the left side. Oh, gets upended at the 15, or he had a big hole there. Somebody got him low around the ankle to pull him down. Might have been Lucas.
Yeah, he was trying to cut off the block of Terrence Beard there, and Terrence did a great job of getting that defender that was on the edge, and he was going to cut underneath it, but that's exactly what Prattville is looking for him to cut it underneath where the rest of the group can come in and tackle.
They've done a pretty good job with that.
They have.
Pursuing on the edge, keeping everything in front of them.
But it hasn't helped because they're gutting them up the middle.
3rd and 2, and right up the middle is where they go for the first down. 1st and goal coming up here for the Baker Hornets, looking for their second ever playoff win in school history.
And the crowd is loving it for certain.
Terrence Beard.
And by the way, there are fans wrapped around this place, too. It's standing room only in West Mobile tonight.
And mostly locals, I must say. They got here early to claim their seats.
Chappell looking to throw. Fires. He's got it for the touchdown. Holden Burden with his 5th touchdown of the season. And the Hornets are a PAT from tying this one.
Well, let me tell you what that play does. It puts the linebacker in a very precarious situation, because when he fakes that little dive and they've been gutting him up the middle, they got to come up and respect that.
Yep.
And then he pulls it out. There's that little receiver coming right in behind him. Easy touchdown.
Hagar on for the PAT with the hold from Burden, who just scored the touchdown, and we are tied at 21. 7:41 to go in the third. It's been back and forth all night. And it's a good one here in round 1 of the playoffs on UTV 44. There's where we're at early on here. Not so much early. 7:41 to go in the third. 21-21. It has been a great game. Here, Jack French
Well, you know, Ashley, that was interesting. Her observations at halftime. She went over to the coach who was behind. And he looked at the scoreboard and he smiled. Like, do you see what it says?
Yep.
But he's like, yeah, I see it. We're okay.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got the rings to prove it.
This guy has won championships all over the place. He's
not the T-shirt, but the rings to prove it.
Up in Mississippi, great.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer in Mississippi.
Did such a great job. The Baldwin County as well. Davis at the 18. A lot of steam going forward up to the 41-yard line. Kingston Davis, just a junior. Let's see if we see more of him in the backfield in the second half.
We were on the field, of course. You take a look at that scoring drive. Jim and I on the field when Prattville came out for their early warm-ups, and we were like, whoa, 20's going to be tough to handle all day long when you saw him up close.
And now they'll go with Burke at 215 and Davis at 220 on each side of Washington. They'll give it to Davis on the right side. Davis was stood up, but he still pushes ahead and picks up about 5.
You know, as bad as both defenses have played, this still is anybody's ball game for sure. And I'm stating the obvious with the score being tied like this.
But they haven't been big plays, really big plays. They've been sustained drives by both teams.
Sure. Which is even sadder for the defenses.
2nd and 5. Knots in motion. They give it off to Burke, and Burke with more speed out of the backfield, and he's got a Lion first down to the 39.
Yeah, simple little cross buck of the backs back there in the backfield. Fake it one way, and the other one comes this way. And he's got a guard or a tackle in front of him to help give him some blocking, and he just goes downfield, kicks the sticks for a first down.
Yeah, 5'9", 215 running downhill at you there.
Cody Wyatt ran 15 yards before he could find somebody to block.
Yeah, the crossing confused him.
Davis slips in the backfield, and he'll be hit at the line of scrimmage.
Tried to run the same thing there, but did not confuse the Baker defense there. They're starting to recognize some things.
Alex Hazard and Marcus Thomas, a good job to get in and disrupt that. Hazard, of course, coming off that knee injury. They really didn't play much early in the season, and now getting more reps here, senior season. Good to see that young man back out on the field.
You can see the emotion he plays with.
2nd and 10. What's a chess match going on between both sides here. Danny Smith over here defensively. Offense over on the far side for Prattville, and now Washington wants to go over the middle, and it's nearly picked off. It is by Archie. Archie able to come up with a pick, and now he's looking to go the other way. Archie's a punt returner, so he can return this as well, all the way down to the 32.
All right, finally, a defensive play to make a stand to turn the tide.
And this place is completely up for grabs.
46 yards on Archie's 3rd interception of the year. He knows what to do when he gets the ball in his hands. As I said, the punt returner, so he knows.
It was a matter of getting it in his hands. Look at that juggle. Takes the whack to the shoulders, and immediately, Jim, you're exactly right. He put on that return mentality and puts Baker in great shape.
And what were they yelling, Vic, when he got the interception?
Oski, let's go back the other way.
Sets up the Hornets at the 32. Chappell, play action, wanted to go up top, and he'll pull it down, and he's going to be hit and drop back. Ditarius Johnson with a big hit, along with A.J. Lawrence.
I had a feeling this might be what they were going to do.
Yeah, try to go for the juggler.
Yep,
it was not there, so it was a very great decision by Burt Chappell to pull it down.
It was one receiver out. That was it.
And he was covered very well, so he made a great decision. You know his second option is always to run the football.
Approaching 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd. First round playoff action, Prattville and Baker. Over the middle, he's able to get Marquise Owens, and Owens down to the 22-yard line.
Still was his first read, but he hesitated to let him uncover. Right. Then he throws it out there.
He's been efficient. He's been impressive. He's not been, 3rd read and 4th read and all that. But he's done a great job protecting the ball. Jim mentioned he's only got 2 picks on the year.
Exactly.
You can see why.
Coach French loves that.
Good enough for the first down there to Owens.
But he's not a quarterback you got to hide either.
No. No, we saw it on the two throws earlier to LaFleur. And a nice throw into the end zone to Verdon on that last drive. And now Baker looking to regain the lead. Last time they had it, it was 14-7. McMillan on the right side, breaks the tackle, makes a move at the 10. And it's now first and goal for the Hornets.
Yeah, shoestring tackle there by Blake Baker, or otherwise he's going to go into the end zone with this little move right there, but gets enough of his shoestring to break him down.
Yeah, now he hobbles. McMillan hobbles off to the bench. Oh, they need him back there. But they are deep. They got Ricky Brown, who's rushed for almost 500 yards. 83 yards on 10 carries tonight for McMillan.
That did not look good.
Prattville, he's A-OK. Well, you know, with all these backs with a lot of yards, tells me they got a good front.
Play clock inside 5. Gonna have to hurry. And they have to take a timeout. Jack French all the way down inside the 20 to call that timeout. Boy, you cannot take that 5-yard penalty there.
No.
First.
You know, and especially if McMillan is banged up here, you've got to get this 6 points right here. And of course, conversion with the 7. You've got to. It'd be even more important now. Jack, who doesn't show too much displeasure.
I'll tell you about more of our friends who bring you high school football all season long. Mullinex Ford. What a great thing they've done all year long. Sponsor our student athletes of the week, and then giving a $5,000 scholarship to one of those athletes at the conclusion of this season. Also, Millsaps and Associates, located over there on Azalea Road. Rates on auto and a home. Also, wind coverage, which everybody's looking for. Wickman's Ace Hardware. Get your boat out of the seas. Get your boat lift taken care of as well. Fix your dock. And, of course, their cargo lifts, which are meant to take cargo from the ground floor, not human beings. Cargo only from the ground floor up into your beach house, your house, wherever you're at.
It's an Ace Hardware, so I know they've got more than those 2 products you've been focused on all season.
They got the paint center.
Well, I even went into an Ace that's coupling up with Greer's on Cottage Hill.
How about that? Give. Terrence Beard gets to about the 5-yard line. Bring up second and goal.
Yeah, they had their grand opening this morning and ran into Robert Greer there as well.
Big Auburn guy?
Yeah. That's not the best part of him, though.
He's a fine man.
He's a fine guy. Got to meet his dad as well. That was even a treat.
Oh, that's cool.
His dad played for Alabama.
Alabama?
Yes.
Wow.
I asked his dad, what happened to him? He said, well, he turned out all right.
Second and goal. Ricky Brown in a tailback. Chappell on the keeper right up the middle. Gets hit from behind, and he's down near the goal line.
Had a feeling that was coming, too, you know.
At some point, you knew he was going to handle the football down there.
Right.
Whether Coach French called it or not.
Exactly. And now he finds himself half a yard out. 2 down territory. Clock winding down here in the 3rd.
You think it's 2 down this early with a tie game?
No doubt.
Okay.
No doubt. If you're 4th down at this point, that close.
With the personnel you have, huh?
Right.
Brown comes in motion. Chappell on the far side. It won't matter because he's in for the touchdown.
No decision necessary. Burt has made the decision for us, which the coaches like. He makes it easier for them.
And they made some decisions on that line of scrimmage on the left side, too, by really opening up some lanes for him to find his way in. Watch again. A little counter, and Chappell explodes across the line.
And I tell you what, he got skinny on that one and slipped through there.
Hagar on for the PAT, and it is 28-21. Baker with their first lead since the first half. And Burton Chappell with another touchdown here tonight. How about the way the Baker Hornets have come out here in the second half? Big Lockett. 2 touchdowns. They get the takeaway defensively as well.
And you know what? Even to speak louder than that, how bad Prattville came by and just been outside of their head, not being within the game mental.
Yeah, they
from the coach on to the players.
Atrocious first drive that looked like it was going to go great. Then a turnover on the second drive.
Timeout out of the half.
Bouncing kick, this one taken by Burke. And Burke slips down at the 38-yard line.
These kicks, you know, Prattville keeps setting up with great field position to start every drive.
8 plays, just 32 yards after the interception by Archie. And Chapel with a touchdown run, took 3 minutes off the clock. And it was 21-14 at halftime. And Baker has come out here with 2 touchdowns in the third quarter to take a 7-point lead. Motion. They give it off to Davis. Davis gets the edge, and he's got a lot of room. Davis now down inside the 40-yard line, and this time no flags.
Yeah, it's just that same play, you know, his little cross buck in the backfield. This time he decides to take it way on the outside, even outside of his block. Some good blocking by his receiver right there to help him.
24 yards. Boy, tough to bring down a 220-pound running back when you go up high.
Sure.
And try to pull him down, Big Lockett.
Yeah, you want to get him down there around his ankles.
Got an injured Baker Hornet over there. That was kind of right at the point of contact.
Yeah, toward the end of the play there. Hopefully he's A-okay. Looks like he's stretching out down there. Great sportsmanship by the Prattville group from out of Montgomery, kneeling down to respect the injured player, as well as over here our hometown guys, Baker. All those sportsmanship announcements Savarese and Dan's been putting out, you can see it permeates through the teams.
That's Malik Williams there. Looks like he's going to be okay.
God.
Hopefully maybe just got the wind knocked out of him.
Come over here and get him a drink of Powerade and go back in the game.
Is that the worst feeling on a football field, Vic, when you get the wind knocked out of you?
Ooh, it is one of them. I can tell you that for sure. But I cry even for cramps. I'm soft when it comes to pain.
Cramps on those big muscles are excruciating. All right, so you got Prattville, who's just been shooting themselves in the foot so far here in the second half.
Yep.
Penalties and turnovers. They stay away from that. They're giving Baker all they can handle here.
First and 10 from the 38. Christian Mays now in the backfield. Mays will take it. He goes on the right side, and he's going to be ridden down. John Burnett in there to make the stop for Baker.
Active.
Excuse me, Jim. Looks like he was going to make it through the first wave of defenders, but then the second wave got him real quick. Stuffed him into the dirt.
Penalty here. Defensive hold. Oh, face mask.
Okay.
That'll be in addition to the yardage to gain,
Which was not too much.
It's only a 5-yarder.
Still be
5-yard penalty against the defense. Replay, first down.
First and 5, and you have your safety, Malik Williams, your starting safety, come out on that play. Do you think about trying to take a shot here on first and short down the field?
Referee correcting the down marker.
Big back. Davis in behind Washington. Derek Gappa up to the top, but 3 receivers stacked to the bottom of the screen. They'll run that way on the pitch. Davis looking for a holding flag there, and they'll get it. Curtis Gildersleeve was being held. Saw it easily up here, and the Baker side was all over it as well.
Well, I was wondering what happened to Gildersleeve, so that's what it is. They've been holding him tonight. Usually Jim calls his names about 8 or 9 times when we do one of these football games. So The best way to get it, Dan, is to hold him.
I don't know if they've been holding him all night.
Just see it. Just out of the screen there. And they'll
Holding. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul against the offense. Replay, first down.
pushes it back to the 41-yard line.
Played him twice, actually.
First and 13.
Yeah, so Prattville is starting to pile up the penalties here this second half. And usually the halftime helps the team, but it has hurt this Prattville group.
Washington now looking to throw, looking for coverage on the near side, and it's dropped. Had Courtney Taylor Kane, and he couldn't hold on to it. And Washington dropped that one in the right spot.
He's got a little skip and jump when he throws the ball, too. Watch, boom. Here it comes, right to your camera and right into the hands and out.
Yeah, I thought he was about to make a great catch.
Yeah.
Courtney Taylor Kane, the junior, can't hold on to that one. It'll bring up second down.
Maybe the hair got in the way.
I don't think it was the hair. He's got plenty of it, but I don't think that's to blame.
Yeah, he's got some I could share with, and you'd still be okay.
Second and 13 here for the Lions. Washington again now wants to go on the far side looking for Gappa, and that one's incomplete.
Yeah, they're taking shots now. Right there, they were trying to fake the little screen over there and send two of them out there on a go route. But the pass was just errant there, I think.
Yeah.
Both were man-to-man, too, one-on-one.
Yeah.
First and 13, and now with two incompletes, third and 13.
Looks like they're going to stay in that same formation, 3-by-1. And one back in the backfield for extra protection.
Baker showing blitz. Give it off to Davis. Davis with a stiff arm. And he'll get up to the 35-yard line.
You got to be a brave man to get in front of him.
You know, the 35, on fourth down here, I think you think about going for this because you punt into the end zone, you're going to gain 15 yards. That's it.
Well, that's probably why he decided to run it right there, because he knew he was going to go on fourth down.
If he got close enough.
Correct.
Fourth and a long 6. Down inside. 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Play clock at 7, so they're going to have to snap it. Washington on the pitch, gives it off to Davis. He's got a lot of room on the right side, and they convert on fourth down and more inside the 10.
I mean, the blocking on the right side, they just mowed people over again, and there was no containment by Baker.
Yeah, they got the seal that you talk about all the time.
Cody Watt did a great job over there.
Bodies on the field all over the place.
And they're in blue jerseys.
Yep, exactly.
They'll wind the clock here, and Baker not ready, and they cannot get the snap off. And so we'll go to the fourth quarter, 28-21. It was a 9-1 matchup against an 8-2 matchup, a 2-3 against a 3 seed. Looks pretty close on paper, and that's where we're at through 3. Ready to start the fourth quarter. Look at that crowd. Huge crowd here tonight. And again, this game is on tape delay. Not the station's call to do that. But if this game was live on television, that crowd would be exactly what we're looking at right here tonight.
Yeah, not to.
And all the folks at home who weren't going to come to the game don't get a chance to watch it. Friday night high school football. So you don't get a chance to watch them live in the playoffs. And again, that's a Alabama High School Athletic Association rule, not UTV 44s, but it's really unfortunate for football fans are the ones who really get the short end of the stick on that.
I think it's unfortunate for high school football because I think it would actually grow the sport and the interest in the sport and the, people making sure the sport's healthy and taken care of.
First and goal from the 9 as we start the fourth quarter. Washington on the left side. Gildersleeve drops him. Just back to that point for a second. You also have a lot of people who are at high school football games week 1 through 10. Their kids are playing, grandkids are playing. Maybe they're not in the playoffs. So you could have had some new people watching the game who don't get a chance to watch them during the regular season.
I lived that life.
Yeah.
You know, I lived that life. Uncle Henry and I had that discussion this morning.
2nd and 6, Washington on the left side. He pushes ahead. And now the Lions are within a PAT of tying this game.
Yeah, he just leaned that big 6'2" body into it and got the ball across the plane there, falling his fullback. Or at least he turned him into a fullback for one play. Kingston Davis leading him in.
Baker comes away with the ball, but it's after the fact.
A.J. Reed try to stay perfect on the night. And it is 28 apiece early on in the 4th quarter. And our trivia question in the first half as we start the playoffs, round 1 here. What school has gone to the playoffs the most times in Alabama?
Wild guess, Hoover.
I wouldn't claim to be a historian of Alabama football. How about Murphy?
That's what a Murphy guess. Colbert County.
Okay.
37 appearances in the playoffs. Prattville, this is their 26th time qualifying for the playoffs.
That Murphy number's got to be up there. I mean, they've been around.
I bet we can find that out here before the broadcast concludes.
Such a storied program, a lot of success, not necessarily a ton of championships, but, a lot of winning seasons.
Sure, yeah, and again, just longevity of the school.
Correct. Factor that in.
When you're not the first high school, but when you've been playing high school football in Mobile as long as they have, you're right. Of course, the playoffs weren't around. They didn't have playoffs way back. They're a relatively new thing. Bringing this one out is Gaynor to the 20-yard line.
Now we're at a point in this game, guys, where anything could be huge.
And McMillan's still on the sideline. That could be huge.
That could be huge.
That's one huge factor. No, not can be. I would say that is huge.
Yeah, I agree. Turnovers, penalties right around now.
See the night Chappell's having so far.
He's about to get a little more active. The longer McMillan's on the bench, he'll carry the load some.
Yeah, they're not going to protect these quarterbacks now.
Ricky Brown back there in the backfield. And now they're going to go 5 wide, empty the backfield. They'll bring Brown in motion, and he's got some room to the near side. Ricky Brown gets upended at the 24-yard line. Ty Lucas there with a stop. Let's get an injury update from Ashley.
That's right, guys. Trey McMillan is still on the sidelines. I did see the trainers massaging his left calf muscle. You can see on his right leg it is already taped, that calf muscle, and now it looks like there's another injury on the left side.
So I'm a few hours short of my medical degree, but a calf you would probably better than an ankle injury, you would think. Give up the middle. This is Terrence Beard jamming for a couple to the 26th. 3rd down coming up here for the Hornets.
Yeah, they need to extend this thing and not give it right back to Prattville, because the Prattville offense, again, they've been their own worst enemy here in the second half. They really haven't been stopped as much as they've stopped themselves.
The one thing we talked earlier, Dan, about how would Baker come out and handle the start of the game, big game playoff. Haven't been here a lot. How do you handle it in the waning moments of a close game as well in the playoffs?
Good point. Yeah, one thing is at the beginning. How about the end? About to find out.
Play clock down to 3. They get it off. Chappell looking to throw, not there. He's going to pull it down. Trying to get to the outside. A straight arm works. Chappell's got the first down and more to the 43-yard line.
That's just won't. It's more than the other guy.
Yeah, just watch it. Just watch it.
And enjoy it.
Ditarius Thomas, that's 215 pounds he straight arms down. And then makes Desmond Martin pay for it at the end of it as well.
Yeah, Martin's like saying, man. I thought I pretty much had you wrapped up, but no.
That's a young man who can handle the big moment.
Well, and that's what we're saying. While you've got McMillan out, you're just going to see him, you know, his own nature is going to come out.
He's going to carry the load.
Yeah.
Down inside, 10 seconds on the play clock. Now at 5. Chapel up the middle and nothing there.
That was a big first down. Ooh, that was a big first down. Slow the tide of the Prattville offensive momentum and give yourself a chance to get in a position to do something offensively and get a lead.
Nick Jones, you saw big number 99 there.
Both these teams, neither one in a big hurry as far as the play clock. Tied at 28.
Inside 9 minutes to go. Again, empty backfield. Brown in motion. They fake to him, and now they come and able to get it to LaFleur. Again, his 3rd catch of the night. It's going to bring up 3rd and 2 from the 49.
A simple little slant play, just easy. If it's there, just throw it. If not, we know Chapel's going to run it. So it was there. The receiver had his body in front of him, so I showed him his numbers, and he said, hey, I'll take it.
Here comes McMillan back into the game.
Chapel's been very efficient with those throws. He's been right on the money.
Even more efficient running the football.
Yeah, he's been good either way.
Let's see McMillan. There he is. Right leg is taped. They fake to him. Chapel keeps it, and he goes up the middle, and he's got another first down for the for the Hornets to the Lions' 42-yard line.
Just the body language that the kid naturally brings.
Comes out there looking like the Fonz, like he's just asked a girl out on a date, right?
Yeah, well, and she said,
yes.
Yes. He didn't get the words out.
A little strut there to say, hey, I got this. We're going to win this football game. Ball's in my hands. I'm in control. Let me have it, coach.
1st and 10 for the Hornets. Chapel, this time blown up. Great penetration by K.J. Lawrence, the junior linebacker.
Well, Prattville says, hey, Fonz, hey, how about that?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, they just bring the heat right here. Too many numbers. It wasn't a good, he didn't have a good option either way.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if Prattville gets smart here, they can say, hey, this guy here is the one that's hurting us. If we could just shut him down and key on him, you know, we'll have a better night defensively.
McMillan's back in there now, though.
Loss of 5. They fake to him, and now he's going to have to roll out the near, so we get a flag to the near side of the field as well. This one complete as Lett makes the catch to the 39. Well, let's see the flag. It's right 1 yard behind. There's 2 flags actually now. One on the near side and one right at midfield. Guess this is going to go against Baker.
Illegal touching by the offensive team will be 5 yards from the previous spot, and the down will count.
Okay, the only person I saw touching the football was Chapel, and certainly he's got it right.
Well, I guess the receiver was not.
Did he go out of bounds and come back in?
That's all I could think.
Usually didn't see a hat down over there. He was not out of bounds.
No.
I wonder if it's something at the snap with the center. I wonder if that was something.
Yeah, that was there. Head scratching.
Chapel fires, and that one dangerously incomplete behind his intended receiver there.
Yeah, I guess he thought the receiver was going to cut inside there of some sort, as he was not thrown near where he was on the field.
That'll bring out the punt team for Baker.
Big sequence right there. They were moving it.
Yeah, finally a stop by one of the defenses, and Prattville has now gotten their stop. Baker got a stop earlier with the interception, which was a turnover.
Crutcher.
First time we've seen the punter, I guess, for Baker, right?
To the 32. Had a punt in the first half. Good punt here to the 20. And it bounces. Wow, what a Baker bounce, and they down it inside the 5.
That is, okay. We were waiting for some sort of a game changer. We may have just seen it, Jim, right
with
there.
the shift in the field. This punter's been good. Yeah, he either punt one earlier that went out the back of the end zone almost.
Wow. You can't do it any better than that.
More of our sponsors here on high school football. The Orthopedic Group. Advanced Collision. And as Vic was mentioning earlier, Greer's since 1916.
Yeah, had a grand opening over there on Cottage Hill and partnered up with an Ace Hardware within the store.
Kids today, the things they think of.
Works good for me, one-shop stop.
At the 3-yard line.
Get me some biscuits and get a wrench at the same time.
Vic, I don't see you doing a lot with a wrench, I'll be honest. Washington rolls out, fires on the far side, incomplete, good coverage by Baker as he was trying to go to Seth Knotts over there.
He's an elusive guy, but you got to be thinking in the back of your mind a little bit, wow. I mean, he's taking the snap in the end zone. That's 2 points. That's the lead. Does Baker bring some numbers here?
Yeah, or a holding call.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
Might want to give it to 20 right here.
Oh, the movement. Yep, they moved beforehand, so they'll lose about 1.5 yards on the half the distance penalty. Looked like they were going to give it to him because he was.
I think it was Davis actually was in motion. Burke was one that he gets the ball. Davis was going to be throwing some blocks, but
yeah, Davis was one who jumped a bit early.
Yeah, he was too early. The good news for Prattville is you can't move it that far back.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
You know, for a game that was nearly penalty-free the first 2 periods, it's been anything but that in the second half.
And heavily weighted towards Prattville. Like I said, the halftime conversation didn't work well for them.
Washington gives it off to Dave. Now make it Burke, and Burke gets around the edge.
And that'll give him some breathing room. Looks like he got enough for the first down. He kicked the sticks and they can hit refresh on the down.
Just not a good angle by Malik Williams. The safety comes up, but he just, you know, he gets sucked too far inside.
But a good open field tackle to pull down the bigger.
Yeah, but that was after the
yard had been gained.
Misread it. Yeah.
They'll give it back off to Burke. Burke claws ahead to the 20. So we approach the halfway point of quarter number 4.
And again, big first down. It's just to move the sticks, but you get out of the shadow of your own goal line. You're not going to have to punt it to Baker and give him a very short field. That was a big play.
To Davis and lost his footing as he tried to cut it back to the inside.
He's just trying to let the blocks develop there so that he can find a place to go north and south. Baker did a great job. Trent Archie flashing in there to turn it inside.
There you go.
Pearson there.
Earlier than he wanted to.
As well, 3rd and 5.
They're on their feet here.
Washington on the keeper hit and dropped. Going to gain 1 yard, but not much more. Eric Roomcourt came to finish off.
Yeah, Malik Williams up there cleaning up.
Yep. Alex Hazard was the one who blew that play up, though.
Man, what a hit right here. Boy, that was the safety with the final blow right there, Roomcourt.
Yeah, that was Malik and Eric Roomcourt.
We'll see William Johnson on to punt. Fair catch called for. Archie takes it at the 48-yard line, so great field position for the Baker Hornets. With 4.5 to go, their drives have all been long, sustained drives. And tell you about more of our sponsors here on UTV 44 High School Football. Aaron's Also, budget brakes, lifetime warranty on brakes starting just $89.99. Faulkner State all year long bringing you our educator spotlight. And Chicken Salad Chick, Hillcrest Shopping Center, 2370 Hillcrest Road in Mobile. 15 different types of chicken salad, all homemade, and they make them fresh every single day. Catering
franchise
options.
actually award-winning this week, too.
On the keeper, Chapel has to fight just to get a yard on that one.
I missed getting my pound of chicken salad chick this week, so I won't do that next week. So they'll sell it to you by the pound, and you got a couple of slices of bread at home. You can eat off that throughout the week.
Today was your cheat day, huh?
Approaching 4 minutes to go. 2nd and 9 coming up. Chapel play action pressure coming now. He's going to pull it down. Chapel up the middle. Now he gets a block out in front and another one. And Chapel fights it to the 33-yard line. First down for the Baker Hornets.
Yeah, he's looking at his cohorts there, giving him a good block down the field. He likes that. I'll tell you what, they may need to coach this defense to just keep him in the pocket. Do not allow him to get out the pocket when that read isn't there for him.
You know, what Chapel makes the great plays. You know what strikes you, though, is he never makes a play that's potentially bad a disaster. He doesn't protects the ball in the pocket, even if a sack's coming.
Sure.
He just
some guys that make the great plays also make the terrible plays. He hadn't done that.
up the middle, Beard to the 29-yard line.
Well, this is right out of a Jack French script. Here's how you finish a game.
And here's where that timeout also could play a factor that was called on the first play in the second half by Prattville.
Yeah, they're down one.
Both of them were two left, so it set it even.
And Baker has kind of really almost taken some possessions away from Prattville just by the play clock running down so low all throughout the evening. Right up the middle is Beard, and Beard makes another move at the 10. Touchdown, Hornets.
Trap play, and Beard is all over it.
That's right. Nice little dive play right there up the middle. Chapel just gathers the snap real quick and then just lays it down in his belly, and he's gone. You key in on him, there's their second option for is a run play.
Got everything spread out. The safeties are spread out deep, so they're not in that spot to make the play, Jim. And he just got on top of that secondary so quickly, they couldn't react in time.
Yeah, hit that first wave, second wave's like, uh-oh.
And Hagar with the PAT.
Jim wanted to know if Baker would be ready for the big moment at the end of the game. Right now, it looks like they are.
35-28. Hornets with the lead. 2:48 left. Now the Hornets looking for their second win in school history. And if they hold on to win this one, they've earned it here tonight. What a game this has been. They've made the big plays, and they didn't down down by a touchdown at one point in this game, a couple of times actually.
Yeah, just no defense, and
bang, this
Baker's
one's
gotten better.
Burke at the 35. They didn't want to kick it back deep to Davis, but great field position here for Prattville. They'll start at the 48 down a score with 2:41 to go. And don't forget, that's a proud team, a lot of tradition on that side of the football with 2:41 to go.
Yeah, with players, too, that can make the big play.
Yeah, you know, if you have to say, you know, both defenses have been bad, but out of the second half, I would say Baker has been better because they were able to get the turnover as well as a stop.
You got to give some credit to the offenses they block it.
Every now and again they win.
Motion. They give it to Davis on the left side.
That play's worked a lot, but not right there.
Up to midfield, Alex Hazard. He's really playing well here tonight.
Yeah, this is the guy that we talked about, the injury
last year.
Yeah. Lost a lot of time, and you can see he's one of those young guys that doesn't want to miss any time on the field.
Pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. They'll put Christian Mays in behind Washington, and Mays will take it. And he'll get 2, 3rd down coming up here.
And the crowd just sensing right now that if they can just get a stop here, this will finish the game off. And with every tackle, they're to their feet.
Just a tremendous atmosphere out here. And of course, everything's riding on this.
Press box is shaking.
Yep.
You can feel it moving under our feet. 3rd and 5. Washington gives it off to Burke. And Burke falls forward. He's going to be very close. Yeah, regardless,
I think he's got the first down, but yeah, I'm sure they'll go for it here with 1:20.
Clock's still running here because no, they're going to say he's short. He is a half a yard short. Clock's still running. Down to 1:10 remaining.
Ball game right here.
If you don't get it, it is.
Washington, they give it off to Burke. Burke drops his head and shoulder, and he's got the first down to the 40.
Now it's a matter of time. You got less than a minute to go. You got 40 yards to go or thereabouts.
2 timeouts.
You got to dial up something other than a dive play, more than likely, if you're going to.
That took them about a minute 40 to get
a first down.
Yeah.
But the thing I'm sensing is that they got just so much confidence in their backs breaking something that they just keep feeding them.
Yeah, but Vic, you're down now to how many chances for that break to happen?
Sure, but with the 2 timeouts, you can stop the clock a couple of times. Now down to 1.
Yep.
That's why I think they kept feeding their backs.
I think you're looking for kind of a run-pass option with this kid, number 2, because he can do both. That's how we open the game.
Oh, we have a timeout here. Let me tell you about my friends over at Spring Hill Ace Hardware and home of Kamado Joe. You know what I've got going on the grill tomorrow?
I don't know that I want to hear
something out of the water, I guarantee.
No. Wednesday bought. Tip Wingard, our friend over there, went and bought a whole brisket. Cut that thing up. It's been marinated 3 days. I'm making my own pastrami.
Wow.
Marinade going on tomorrow. Going to be about a 12-hour cook. Go get a Kamado Joe at Spring Hill Ace Hardware.
Jim Coxarelli.
See our friends Tip and everyone else over there. Great folks in Mobile. They pitch it back. Christian Mays turns the corner, and now Mays has one inside the 20. He's a speedster, and he's inside the 5, all the way down to the 1.
Did we see that play all night? I don't think so.
Great play selection, and watch that big guard right there to get the block on the end man to spring him. And just like you said, he's got some speed, and he turned it on.
Christian Mays, the senior.
What a play call, and what great execution.
Nick Lockett said they have confidence their backs are going to break one.
Yeah, he broke it.
Yeah, they haven't completed a lot of passes tonight, so the backs have been the ones getting all these points.
1st and goal. Washington on the keeper, goes up over the top, and he's hit. No signal yet. He's not in.
Clock's still running. They got to be cognizant of that.
Down to 38 seconds. And now they're going to take their last time out.
Had to.
With 31 seconds left, Washington went up. The officials were right there along the goal line, and let's watch here. He goes up.
He got some height, but didn't get any distance, so that's what caused him not to get the
Well, it depends
touchdown.
where the ball is. Obviously,
part of his body was over.
The ball has to break the plane. His head was clearly over. We didn't have a great look down the line.
There we go. I knew Jarrett would pull it out of his hat. There's our look down. Well, we got an official get in the way.
It's the hat that's in the way.
Yeah, the official too.
But you could see that it was close.
As you take a look at this huge crowd, I mean, they're even on top of the press box.
It's a huge night here. High school football.
Huge night in history for this group, right?
Playoff style, yeah. Looking for their first win since '84. You know they beat in '84. Beat Viger. How big a win was that in 1984?
That's something.
All right, so here he goes. So it is 2nd down, but you're going to have to hurry.
Yeah.
And now we can see a little wildcat action here as they snap it right to Davis, who goes in. And Davis has the touchdown. All right, here, so we already asked you this. Coach Lockett, Coach Brennan, you're on the road. You think about going for the win right here, or you tie it up and go for overtime?
I would go for the tie. Being on the road, that would be the only factor, the reason I would.
Davis with the score.
I'm with Vic on that one, yeah.
If I was Baker, I may think about it.
Baker, I think. Who's going to take the timeout? Baker, I think, takes the timeout. They just wanted to be sure.
And ice the kicker for the extra point,
well,
huh?
Yeah, but now also if you're Prattville, you get a chance to think about it a little bit as well.
No, you go for the tie, I think. But in my wildest dreams, I don't think I've ever witnessed a 35-35 tie for overtime.
We're about to see it. We're about to see it.
Well, I bet that guy's seen it. Coach French has seen everything. He's like, the saying goes, he's forgot about more than I know.
Exactly.
He's seen this sort of tussle before. I hadn't seen him put that mic down yet on his headset. I mean, he's been, I understand he runs the team like a CEO and lets the coordinators sort of call what they want and play within themselves. So I'm kind of a believer of it now because I hadn't seen that mic come down at all.
That'd be an indication. Right?
Yeah, it would. That confirms it.
A.J. Reed on for the PAT.
We've seen stranger things.
Low snap, and we're tied at 35.
As the kicker gets excited.
Vic, they're players too.
Only at this juncture of the game. Only at this juncture in the game.
Well, I got news for you, Vic. If he misses the bus, they're not going into overtime. So they're glad he's here.
35-35. What a high school football game here tonight on UTV 44.
Tell you what, if this crowd's getting more excited and all these rumblings going on, they're going to have to call off the flights at the airport there because planes can't land with the quake going on out here.
We're right at the airport, that's for sure.
Yeah, it'd make it easy for Jim to get on his chopper and head back across the bay after this thing's over.
I'll tell you what, he's considered that option.
Yeah. Well, if he wouldn't have to take the interchange through Atlanta, he probably would have did.
The layover was too long in Atlanta to get back home. And so now Trey McMillan not out there on the return. We've seen him have a great night. Ricky Brown and Jawan Gaynor are back deep. There's Brown. Reed to kick off. Squibs it to the middle of the field. Archie goes through his hands, picks it up at the 25, and tries to cut it back to the middle of the field. And he's up to the 28-yard line.
Oh, yeah. Archie's got good return skills. We saw that earlier after interception.
21.7 seconds left. This game was 7-0 Prattville, 14-7 Baker, 21-14 Prattville, 28-21 Baker, 35-28, 28-28, then 35-28 Baker, 35-35.
Everybody's always been within a punch of the other guy.
Play clock at 5. Chapel. I heard a whistle. There's a whistle. French, I think Jack French may have taken a timeout right before that snap. He did. The play clock was down to 1, so they're going to have to reset the game clock as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, all of this scoring here has got Jim going on his 4th bottle of water. He's going to need that masseuse that he uses down there in Destin to work his throats tomorrow.
Oh, that fresh pastrami will just take care of it.
Is that what's going on the grill?
Well, it's a brisket, but you brine it, and then that's what turns into pastrami. I did not know.
Wow. All right. Are Dan and I invited?
Well, the thing was 13 pounds. There'll be enough to share with.
Well, I'm going to eat 12
with lots of folks. Brennan and I could split a half a pound apiece.
I want to meet you on Monday after you've eaten 13 pounds of pastrami over the weekend. Oh, Lord, just go straight to a medical center.
All right, they reset the clock.
Now they're going to settle to go to overtime. This is a victory formation.
LaFleur split out. He's had a strong game here tonight. And just take a knee.
You know, there's not a thing this crowd can say, this pro-Baker crowd, even if they have any, you know, reservations about that strategy. Jack French is the guy that made any of this possible.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're back at your own 30. You got a long way to go. A lot can go wrong as well.
So you're saying in French, we trust.
And in French, they trust, and they should.
So here's our overtime rules. It's unlimited. Each team has one timeout. Get the ball at the 10-yard line. And we just keep doing this until somebody wins. Coin toss is important.
Yeah, you want to bat in the bottom of the inning, right?
Yep, exactly. Want to defer and see what your opponent does. Start at the 10-yard line. Second time we've had an overtime game here on UTV 44. We had Spanish Ford and Blunt up at 8 Mile earlier this year.
Did we not have an overtime with Davidson last year? Baker and Davidson right here.
I think we did.
I think we did too.
There's Jack French. It's just a treat to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I hope you boys were learning some stuff when he's talking to you.
Well, you can't help but.
Yeah, you just nod your head and sit there.
If you
take your notepad out.
Exactly. Just be quiet and listen.
You know, I really like when you talk to Coach French because you ask him a question and he's very attentive and listens and then thinks for a moment, make sure he has a filter. Some of us sometimes may not. He has a filter to make sure.
I haven't noticed that.
He gives you. You know, he answers the question and provides the right information.
Well, and it's not always the most lengthy reply,
but very direct, I would imagine.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
And he goes, next one, son.
His son played quarterback for him up at Baldwin County back when, we'd only been doing these games 3 or 4 years, Dan.
Yeah. We were
helped lead them to a, got hurt his hand one game. They thought it was broken. Bond and a young sophomore quarterback moved him out, his son to wide receiver. Went out of the shotgun. They'd never done that before, and they beat Daphne back in 2003 or 2004.
Right.
That's a big win. Baldwin County's not had a lot of wins over Daphne over the years.
No, they were good under Jack French.
Well, how about this? We talk about, you know, what he's done here. Baldwin County has not had great success since he left there either. You see what Jack French does.
Yeah, you see by what a team does when he's there and what a program does when he's not.
Well, I was talking now with Danny Smith before the game. I said, I don't know the guy that well, but I tell you what, he's got that it, whatever it is, it's him. And he's got these guys playing as a unit on the same page. I'm sure he'd like to see his defense play a whole lot better, but as long as they're still in the football game here in overtime at a home playoff game, he's okay with it for right now.
Let's see what we got going on right now, guys.
Determine who gets the football first. They'll walk out for the coin toss. And credit these players, too. Hadn't had any unsportsmanlike. They've all played hard through the whistle. And it's been a good, clean football game. Coach Savarese would love it.
You got Christopher Lett and Seth Knotts out there representing the teams. So yeah, the strategy is here: you win the toss, and you want your opponent to have the ball first because you're going to get a chance. And so you want to see if maybe all you might need is a field goal to win the game.
It gets bigger at the next level where you got kickers that you're more comfortable with, you know, putting that burden on.
That was a lot of conversation by the zebra there.
They may have been going over those same rules that Jared showed on the screen.
Yeah, that's a little heavy for a guy getting ready to play a football game.
A lot of talking points right there.
I didn't know I'd have homework at a football game. It's like Baker's going to go there.
Baker's going to have
toward
it first.
The east.
Yeah.
I don't think wind's a factor at all tonight. Do you guys, boys?
No, doesn't seem to be.
Nice crisp weather night. Not too cold, not too hot. Maybe a little cold for Jim, even though he's out of the north. But it's perfect. Football weather.
Well, so here we see the north end zone here at Baker High School, and we will see Bert Chappell and his offense come out first.
Oh boy, first down, so big right here.
Ricky Brown in the backfield with Terrence Beard. They give it to Beard, and Beard will get a couple. So we talked about how would Baker react at the end of the game. Well, now we'll really find it out.
Yeah, reacting all over again.
Well, I like the character out of both of these squads. We're seeing it. They've been showing it. They're fighting and clawing, trying to get to that second round of the playoffs. The end game is the ring. You don't want to put the pads up tomorrow.
Marston, Bernardin lent to the top of the screen. Chappell with time over the middle. Able to get it to his tight end, but no gain on the play as Holden Burden, who has a touchdown reception tonight. Now it's 3rd and goal from about the 9.
Great coverage and great defense that time out of the Prattville lines.
And the field does shrink down here. Not as much room for the offense
to operate, yeah. But you should see some better defense, you think.
We are in overtime. You can hear the Baker crowd.
Play clock at what about 10 now?
McMillan in the slot. Chappell. Pressure coming, steps up, hit, and who dropped all the way back at the 20. The one thing you did not want to do was take a sack, as you'll have now a 37-yard field goal attempt coming up.
Made sense to bring the pressure, and they do it.
Yeah, it looks like they didn't bring anything extra, just the 4-down lineman there, and that defensive end there just got to him.
Anderson with the sack. So from 37.
Well, this tells you all you need to know now if you are the Prattville Lions.
Yeah, this is why you go on defense first.
Charles Hagar, Holden Burden to hold.
High snap.
And the kick is no good.
Wow.
The snap was high. They kind of threw everything off.
Yeah, the timing was definitely off because the holder had to stand up almost to pull it down. And, you know, that whole thing is in rhythm from the snap to the kicker. So to look at it here, it's well, you have to get up, but it was high.
Yeah, he just didn't get it squarely. Kind of hurt. We could hear kind of that thud when his foot hit it as well, not the usual sound. And so now Prattville's defense comes up with the biggest stand of the night, and Baker is going to have to match them or they're going home.
Any kind of points right here closes the game out.
Washington gives it off. Mays inside the 5-1. Just touchdown Prattville.
Yeah, good leg drive that time out of that back. Just refusing to go down. No need to do anything in terms of extra point. Football game's over, and Prattville come down here and victorious. Deflated Baker crowd here.
Christian Mays broke one tackle, got to the outside. Gildersleeve trying to keep him, and tip your hat to Mays.
Yeah, just kept the legs driving and churning. Coaching staff for Prattville going wild in the booth next to us.
Prattville that comes into,
you know, this is a team that just has that expectation.
Yep.
Prattville.
They've been here.
They've been here, and the expectation is to win it. I can't say I didn't see expectation from the Baker crowd and the Baker unit as well, but it was just a hard-fought game to the end, and I tip my hat to both teams.
Yeah,
you'd like to see better defense, but it's a team sport.
But how about the defense in overtime for Prattville?
Yeah, stepped up.
Not only did they stop them, they get the sack on 3rd down and pushes them out of field goal range.
Sure.
Let's go down and check in with Ashley. She's got Chad Anderson. Ashley.
I apologize.
Defeat Baker tonight on the road.
Great, but the after-game festivities is very classless.
So, what do you say about, your team? We understand you're on the road, but when you're at a visiting school, just tell me how you feel right now.
Just ready to go back to work.
Okay, well, good luck next week, Coach. Thank you.
All right, what a win. I'm not sure what happened down in the end zone. Not sure what happened, but it looks like some of the posters of the senior players were torn off, and now we've.
Man, we don't want to see that, Eric.
No, we want to see.
We've had great sportsmanship, and they've done it between the whistles, and that's the only thing we can talk about. And congratulations to Prattville on winning a hard-fought football game in a very, very hostile environment.
I don't think it was anything player. There was nothing player versus player or anything like that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The senior posters down there in the far end zone where Prattville scored, they've had some. They've been rearranged a little bit.
Coach Anderson.
It was a great game, and Coach Anderson, he won it with class, and you saw it, his response there. We won this one, but they're seeking that championship ring, and this is one they've got. And they're off to next week and look at film and say, hey, get ready for our next opponent, figure out who that is, and we're going to scout them and be ready for them.
Wow, what a, I guess that's the, give a look there. Great shot of a couple of the Baker players. That's the, that's what makes the finality of the playoffs so exciting and so stinging if you're on the losing end, especially.
Yeah. Overtime.
Oh, overtime.
And you're like
gut-wrenching. Yeah, and you're Baker, and you just think, this is, we're going to win this game. They score late, but you talked about it, Vic, the confidence that Prattville had. 2 minutes, 41 seconds. They get the ball back. No panic. They didn't start slinging it around out of their offense. Kept to it. Had a great play call. Got it to Mays, who scored. Had a big drive to get it down inside the 2. Then he scores at overtime as well.
Yeah, you can see they just do what they do. They knew they had confidence in their backs. They hadn't had a lot in their passing game all night long. So they just kept feeding those backs and knowing at some point they're going to break it. And that's what happened. They broke it down there toward the end, set them up for the touchdown.
Yeah, just your heart goes out to the Baker kids.
Yeah, but at the same time, look at where we are now in West Mobile watching a Baker football game. This crowd has been deflated for sure.
Right.
It's a heartbreaking loss, but the Baker football program has been put in a position now where they can be in games like this.
Sure.
And soon they're going to be winning games like this.
Well, we're watching them grow right before our eyes.
That's
We've
right.
said it in the past. They're here. They made a statement. And here is something that a foundation they can continue to build on.
So our final score here in overtime. Prattville comes down and wins their 51st ever playoff game. Baker still looking for their second playoff win, but they get back here and finish up, 9-2 for the Hornets under Jack French this year. They bow out in the first round, but a program on the rise for sure. So that'll do it here from Baker. Our final score, 41-35.